Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a chapter I honestly didn't want to talk about, at all. It's going to be sort of different than my usual chapter reviews or even my usual videos, just because I don't know how funny this is going to be, if at all. And that's because we're going to be talking about Kuma's backstory, or at least how far we are in it in the manga. But guys, before we get into all that, we need to talk about today's sponsor, which is FlexiSpot. And they were nice enough to send me this desk, which is the E8 standing desk, and I gotta say, I loved it immediately. This desk not only allows me to comfortably get more work done because of the space it provides, but it's also remarkably sturdy and stable. And for a standing desk, you can imagine how important that is. The E8 doesn't wobble at all, even when raised to its highest position. I actually tried applying enough force to shake it just a little, and let me tell you, once I got it set up and sturdy, it took a lot out of me just to get it to move even a little bit. Another thing I enjoyed about this desk is that it came with everything I needed to set it up, and the setup process itself probably took about 30 minutes. And that's to set up a desk that's even taller than myself. And the size of the desk makes sense when you realize that it has a staggering 352-pound load capacity. So while the setup was incredibly easy, I would still strongly recommend also getting the 15-year warranty as a safety measure. The E8 also comes with a USB port and presets that let you set which heights are preferable to you. I'm going to use this chance to go ahead and show you how high this bad boy can go. Ready? So as you can see, the E8 has really been a game changer, as it's created a much more comfortable and productive working environment for me. And if you've heard all of that and decide you need to get your hands on one of these desks for yourself or a loved one, you are actually in luck, because FlexiSpot is actually doing an Amazon Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale where you can get up to 50% off. And you'll even have the chance to win free orders by participating in their giveaway on November 24th and November 27th. So please check out the link in my description and follow and watch FlexiSpot's live streams on Amazon for your chance to win your giveaway. A very special thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video and sending the desk, and an equally special thank you to you for watching this video. And with that, we are back to the show. And it's like, guys, I gotta say, this one is just really uncomfortable. For me personally, reading about the things that happened to Kuma, to Jenny, it was really awful to read. For me personally, this situation, like situations with assault and like just specifically what happened to Jenny, these things always make me feel just so it triggers me in a way I don't fully understand, if I'm being completely honest. Like, anytime there's a scene in a movie that deals with something like that, I have to leave the room. Like, honestly, if sometimes, even if it's just implied, if it's just implied, it doesn't get to me that bad, but if there's scenes of it, if they show it, then I have to leave the room. It just always makes me feel very, very uncomfortable. So to have that in One Piece, it was it's great storytelling still, and to be clear, I don't think that Oda went too far with the implication. I think it was, it's still One Piece, so it's still great storytelling, and it just made me, I don't know, I wasn't expecting that to happen. Additionally, another thing I want to talk about, when I did my last chapter review before this chapter, somebody said something, basically I got spoiled because somebody was reading the spoilers for the chapter that came out, and they went to my video and commented on it. If I could just ask, please refrain from doing that as much as possible, not just for other people, but for me. I like to read the comments sometimes. A lot of the times, that's my favorite part of doing these chapter reviews, because I get to go into the comments and talk with you guys about theories or what the coolest part of the chapter was. I enjoy it sometimes, you know? And I don't want to be navigating my comments like a minefield. I get that that's part of this whole YouTube thing, so I'm not putting all the blame on you guys. I get that you guys might have just been excited or whatever. I'm really not. I understand this is my burden, my cross to bear, being a One Piece YouTuber. But if you could, just maybe refrain from it, because I read that and I was like, I don't know what he's talking about, but so that made me go look at the spoilers for the new One Piece chapter, which if you're caught up with One Piece, because you should be, I don't know why you would be watching this video if you're not, but you know the struggle in being caught up with One Piece, you know? It's like every week you have the opportunity to get on Twitter and read what the spoilers are going to be. Like, when I first got caught up with One Piece, it took me just months of conditioning to just not spoil myself, because it does ruin the chapter when you know what's going to happen. You shouldn't do it, but sometimes you just have to do it. I understand understand. I really do. I'm trying to get that One Piece fix as quickly as possible. That is why I read the scans, and you know, I try to wait for the official releases so that I can drop the reviews, but at the same time, like, as soon as I can read the chapter, I'm reading them. So I understand the spoilers too, but it's just like, you know, just for me and for everybody, you know, maybe just don't, because that, when I found that out, it was like this slow burn of my entire day being ruined when I read the chapter, and it's like, I don't know, but I just wanted to say that for a second. But yeah, that chapter hurt. I can't believe that, you know, something like that is in One Piece, and so now I'm just gonna go ahead and try to break it down as best as I can. But yeah, that's the preamble. I just wasn't expecting something so dark to be in One Piece. Like I said, it's still great storytelling, so we're gonna just go over it. So, you know, Ginny was forced to become the wife of a celestial dragon. Now, the first thing I want to say off the bat, people are speculating what celestial dragon this could be. You know, maybe it's even Saint Saturn. I'm gonna just go right ahead and say, I pray to God Oda never tells us who that scumbag is. I just do not think the One Piece community is ready for that level of hatred. I don't care. I don't care if it's somebody that dies a horribly gruesome death, because in this situation, I don't think anything could do the anger that me and so many other people feel justice, especially when Kuma's backstory finishes, because that's the thing we have to keep remembering. His pain is not over. Like, it's not over. Things are gonna get worse from here, from where this chapter ended. So I don't know. I don't want to have that layer of hatred on my One Piece sandwich. I don't want to feel that every time I read One Piece. I don't want to get to the arc where Captain Crackhead and his band of lunatics invades Mary Joy, and then I and so many other people are looking for this celestial dragon. I don't want that to happen, okay? If anything, I want Oda to definitively tell us he'll never show us who he is, or just something like that, so that I'm not on the lookout, because I'm already on the lookout for who this jackass is, okay? So if anything, I'm not ready to feel that mad, and I'm already halfway there. So I hope to God Oda never takes me the rest of the way. Another thing from this chapter, since Ginny was kidnapped to become the wife of a celestial dragon, a lot of people are saying Dragon stood by for 2 years, because that's how long she was, with the celestial dragons. She was there for 2 years. A lot of people are saying Dragon's a fraud because he didn't go after them. I get that. I do get that. I understand what people are saying when they talk about that, especially when you look at it through the lens of, like, you know, he is Luffy's father, so what would Luffy do? I'm not really ready to blame Dragon, and that's for a couple reasons. The first and foremost, we don't have all of the pieces to this story, and that's for a couple of reasons. Not just because it's a flashback that Oda is meticulously setting up, just making sure that we don't have too much information, no information that we don't need, but also because Oda himself he's clearly not able to write the chapters that he wants. This chapter that came out was unfinished, and I think if it could have been finished, maybe we would have gotten more context on why Ginny was there for so long, why Dragon couldn't have went to go after. Like, it feels like we just got exactly what we needed, and it was also a really short chapter too, so it's like, I'm not ready to say that Dragon's a fraud or that he didn't, do anything. I think Oda knows what he's doing always, so if he does, there's either a logical explanation, or even if that's within his character to have made that decision. I don't know that much about Dragon. I'm not ready to condemn him. I don't think that I'm still focused on the tragedy and the horrible things that are happening to these characters that I was just introduced to. I'm not ready to just go blaming Dragon for this. If anything, it's just the Celestial Dragon's fault. I'm ready for them to get their fade ran. That's all I'm waiting for. I'm ready to get back to Egghead so we can figure out what's going on with Ginny. Not Ginny. What's going on with Bonnie? What's going on with Kuma? I'm ready for that. Dragon will have his time in the sun. So I'm just not ready. To be honest, the Dragon is a fraud narrative. I just feel like that's really not his fault. It's the One Piece community's fault for putting stocks in characters that we know nothing about. You don't know anything about Dragon. Why would you assume anything about him? Especially in One Piece. Oda will literally create a character like Dr. Vegapunk. And when his old man design was shown, it's just like, so Oda's just a weird guy. He's just a weird guy, man. Anything that you predict from One Piece, yeah, you might get some things right, but I promise, more often than not, what you think you understand, Oda's gonna find a way to cleverly subvert that and have it make way more sense. So I really feel like the best way to enjoy One Piece is to try your hardest to deny the part of you that wants to write this story or think of things that are going to happen within this story. Just enjoy the story, or don't enjoy it. I don't care. Again, I'm trying to feel better about this chapter, okay? So let's keep going with that. So yeah, like I said, I don't really think Dragon's a fraud. I think this is a terrible thing that's happened that either Kuma or Luffy or someone desperately needs to make right somehow. But because of that, you know, after that, you know, she sends a broadcast out to the Revolutionary Army, and she tells Kuma, like, she's sorry, but she is dying, and she's not gonna have time to say goodbye. Of course, Kuma doesn't listen. He goes to the one place he knows that she would be, and that's when he sees her already gone, and a baby Bonnie there too. Which, honestly, man, that panel really broke me. Just Kuma crying and, like, holding baby Bonnie, holding Jenny's lifeless body. It's just like, man, it's not like we just met Jenny, but that part really got me, man, because it's like she told Kuma that she wanted to marry him, and Kuma, wanting to protect her, he was distancing himself, and not even like a lot. Like, he wasn't like Sasuke. He wasn't like an edgelord that was just pushing people away. He actively just didn't want to put her in that much danger, where if they were married, she for sure would have been in danger. Like, you know, they were part of the Revolutionary Army. Maybe a bit of it was like a fear of intimacy on Kuma's end, but it's only because of his fear of loss. He saw both of his parents die just for being who they were. He did not want to put someone else in danger because he was who he was. And it's, even when he has anger about what's happened and different things like that, I feel more sadness from Kuma, man, and that's the part that broke me. Like, the opening panels show Kuma being more and more reckless, doing more and more things that he will just put him or the Revolutionary Army in danger, but it's because Jenny's kidnapped and he just doesn't care anymore. That, to me, it's just, it feels more sad than it does angry. Like, I don't feel like Kuma's about to take his revenge, or he's about to go do unto others what's been done to him. None of that. I see a man that's just so tired of carrying his cross, to be honest. He's done a lot, and he's felt a lot, and he's still trying his best to be there for as many people as possible. But anyway, he's now raising Bonnie, which he didn't even, like, here's the thing, man, like, that's a very, very complicated situation. But Kuma just immediately, just, like, there's no conflict within him at all. I think that's obviously the right decision, but I'm just saying, like, characters more complicated or complex or conflicted characters, that's probably the best word, more conflicted characters because of the layers of complexity that would make them who they are. This would have been at least a little bit different. It's not that I think that, you know, a different person in One Piece would have, you know, just, like, thrown her in the woods. Well, wait a minute, come to think of it though, Garp threw Luffy in the woods. So, you know what? No, Kuma is a stand-up gentleman, because even the good parents in One Piece, sometimes they just suck at parenting. But especially in this situation, he's really just doing this for Jenny, and I don't even know if in the broadcast, she definitely didn't mention anything about Jenny, so, like, or mention anything about Bonnie. So when Kuma went to the church, like, he was, like, surprised by Bonnie, and, like, I don't know how, I don't know, man. That's such a horrible and complicated situation that Kuma immediately turns into the most beautiful thing that's ever happened in his life, because he then starts raising his daughter. Seeing them grow up is really heartwarming, it's amazing, but it's just, it doesn't escape that ire of sadness, because it's like, now Bonnie has the same disease that Jenny has, and it's like, apparently she won't live past the age of 5, and it's like Kuma's still worrying about all of this, desperately trying to save Bonnie's life. And it goes on like that until the end of the chapter where, you know, the fake ass King Cobra from the last chapter, I think his name was Bakori, whatever that guy's causing trouble again, so Kuma's gotta deal with that. Another thing also, because he's raising Bonnie, Kuma has distanced himself a little bit from the Revolutionary Army. I don't remember if he just straight up quit or if he said he needs some more time off, and, you know, it's probably the latter, probably for sure the latter. But if that was the last time he was ever involved with the Revolutionary Army until this point in the story, obviously, that would make sense in a lot of aspects, and it would recontextualize so many things up to and including Thriller Bark, you know? Like, it really paints a different picture, I think. And Sabaody too, like, it paints a different picture. Like, he's still looking out for people even though it's not really his job, and, you know, I don't know, Kuma's just a cool guy. So yeah, it is shaping up to be one of the saddest backstories ever. The One Piece Trauma Olympics is a real thing. People all the time get on Twitter and like to say who has the most tragic backstory. For a while, I thought it was Sanji. His backstory was so sad they gave him 2, okay? So I was gonna ride the Sanji backstory train all the way to the Trauma Express. Now, I don't know, man. I do not know. We gotta finish Kuma's, but from what we have seen, I don't know, man, Kuma has suffered, and it's not over. That is the other thing that I keep remembering. Like, it is not over. The next chapter that we get is gonna be just more pain, okay? It's just gonna be more pain. That's it for this one, guys. I just wanted to do a quick video on this. Like I said, I didn't want to talk about this at all, but you know, I just felt like I guess I should. This stuff is difficult for me. Like I said, it triggers me in a way I don't fully understand. Another thing that is like, I'm like this towards, is whenever like a dog dies in a movie. Like, I will just straight up walk out. When John Wick came out, I had to be restrained. Like, they had to like keep me sitting down so that until I understood the premise of the movie. And even then, the only thing that kept me in the movie theater was realizing that that puppy dying was John Wick's motivation to murder people for like 4 more movies. So I was like, you know, that's okay. I will endure this. As long as they don't kill another dog, I will show up for every movie after this. But yeah, I don't want to ramble. That's it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being interested. Please check out the comments. Let me know how you feel about Kuma, the tragedy. We're all gonna get through it. Kuma's gonna get through it. The Joy Boy will come through with more laughs, hopefully in the next chapter. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being interested, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.